In this video, we will see about website basis. Website is a collection of web pages. Web page is a single document. It contains the resource information that is suitable for the World Wide Web. While talking about the web essentials, we have three terms. The first one is web client. The second one is web server. Third one is communication. As we all know, all the requests are initiated by the web client by using the web browser. These are the well-known web browser such as Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox. Web server is the second well-known terminology used in the web. It can send the response to the requested web client. The example of the web servers are Apache and Internet Information Server. Apache can work both environment, such as can work on Unix as well as Windows. But Internet Information Server, that is IIS, can work Windows only. By talking about the communications, all the communications between web client and server should be carried out through HTTP protocol. What is in the HTTP? Hypertext Transfer Protocol. It is used to transfer the data between web client and web server. Once again, I repeat this. HTTP is a communication protocol. It is used to transfer the data between web client and web server. As I said earlier, web client initiates the contact with the server. That means it speaks first. These are the example of web client, or we can say web browsers. Web server provides the requested service to the web client. So all the communication should be carried out using HTTP protocol. What is meant by HTTP? Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Next, we are going to discuss about web page, website, and URL. Web page, it is a single document. That means it contains the information about the single entity, not multiple entity. Web page always depends on the website. So what is meant by website? It is a collection of multiple web pages. Or we can say it is a collection of multiple documents that are interlinked. Website contains the information about the multiple entity, but it does not depends on the web page. The next one is URL. URL means Uniform Resource Locator. It is used to identify the resource on the internet for routing purpose. As I said earlier, web page is a single document, or it contains the information about single entity. Whereas the website is a multiple documents, or we can say it is a collection of web pages. These are the differences between website and web page. Web page is a single document on the internet, whereas website is a collection of many related web pages linked together under one domain. Web page has content about a single entity, whereas website has content about several entities. As I said earlier, the address of the web page depends on the website, but the URL of the website does not depend on the web page. While talking about the development time, web page takes less amount of time, whereas website takes a long time for the development. Now we are going to discuss about URI, URL, URN. URI means Uniform Resource Identifier. URL means Uniform Resource Locator. URN means Uniform Resource Name. So URI is a combination of URL and URN. So URN means Uniform Resource Locator. URN means Uniform Resource Name. URI means Uniform Resource Identifier. So Uniform Resource Identifier is the combination of URL and URN. So this is the example of URL. URL has 4 components. What are they? Protocol, domain name, subdirectory, and file name. As I said earlier, all the communication should be carried out using HTTP protocol. HTTP means Hypertext Transfer Protocol. The second part of the URL is domain name. It is divided into 3 parts: subdomain, root domain, and top level domain. Subdomain means World Wide Web. Root domain means it may be a host name. That means example like that, the name of the host. And third part is top level domain. It may be commercial, that means com. It may be India Light, like IN. It may be EDU, educations. These are the top level domain sample or example. And the third part of the URL is subdirectory. This is the third part of the URL. And the fourth part of the URL is file name. That is page name. This is another way to represent the URL or to define the URL. So we should have the protocol. The second one is host name. Third one is path. And fourth one is identifier. So identifier means we should have the asterisk symbol. These are the example of the URL, URN. So take the first example. So in this, we are having host name and followed by the subdirectory name. So here we didn't specify the protocol. That means we are specifying only the name of the resource. So for the URN, there is no need to specify the protocol. So we can say this is the example for the URN. So you are going to name the resources. You are going to identify the named resources. And the second one is URL. URL means Uniform Resource Locator. You have to identify the resources on the web. Okay. So here you should specify the protocol. That means HTTP. Hypertext Transfer Protocol. After that, you are going to specify the host name and then subdirectory. So this is another way for defining the URL. So it contains the digits. Thank you.